So in this video, I wanted to go over how you can use the new saved accounts feature of Neon. And what this is going to allow you to do is log into your wallets using just a passphrase. So there's two things I want to go over. First, how you can create one of these new wallets with the passphrase. And second, how you can take an existing account that you have through a private key and encrypt that and save that with a passphrase as well. So let's start by creating a new wallet or a new account. What we can do, so we click that button, it's now going to ask us for a passphrase. So we can choose a phrase. You can do whatever you want. In general, I recommend something pretty strong, something hard to guess, something hard to break. This is not a particularly good choice, but it's just a demo, right? So now we're going to generate a private key and then encrypt it with that passphrase. It brings us to a page that looks pretty familiar to what you've seen before. We have the private key, which controls more or less everything associated with your account. We have the public address, which is where you send your funds and so on. But now we have this encrypted key, which is the encrypted version of the private key using this passphrase. And this encrypted key is what the wallet is going to save for us in the background so that we can then enter the passphrase and log into the account. So to save this key, we need to type in a name for the wallet in the box. So we can just call this, say, test account A, and then click Save Key. It's important to know that unless you click Save Key, nothing is going to be saved here. So if you intend to save this account, make sure you choose a name and make sure you click Saved Key. Other important thing is that, whenever you're generating any kind of wallet, any kind of keys, just make sure you're very careful and back everything up. So I strongly recommend saving this private key in some other safe and secure way, even if you're using Neon to manage your encrypted keys. Lots of things can go wrong. It's always good to have extra backups. So now we can go back and verify that we can log into the test account A using the passphrase we chose. And you can see that it sort of saved the wallet and we don't have to enter anything associated with the private key to log into the account. So now that we've done that, I want to show you how to take an existing private key and then sort of bring it into this same saved encrypted format. So to do that, we're going to click on Encrypt an Existing Key. And that's a page. It brings us to a page pretty much like the other page. It has this new thing we need to have, the existing WIF. So the existing WIF is your existing private key. So you just paste that there. You again choose a passphrase that you want to use to encrypt the key. And again, choose something strong, choose something hard to break. Then we're going to click Generate the encrypted key. And this will do exactly the same thing as the Generate wallet did, but it's going to use the key we gave it instead of generating its own. So you can see this private key down here is exactly the one we pasted into the box. The encrypted key is now the encrypted version of that private key, and everything is exactly as it was before. So to save this, again, we need to choose a name for it and click Save Key. So we can call this, say, test account B, and then we can click Save Key, and it will save that information. So now that we've done that, we can go back and verify that our existing private key is now accessible through the passphrase. So we see test account B here. We can type in our passphrase, and it should allow us to log into the account. So the last thing I want to show you is just sort of how you can manage some of these keys, and you can do that on the settings page. So if you click settings, you see a list of the keys in your account. One thing you may want to do is create a key recovery file. So what this will do is allow you to sort of import all of these keys in the case that something goes wrong, in the case that you delete them or something. So we can do that just as a test here. We can create a file called keys.json. And save that. Oh, move this box in. Replace. So we've created a file. So now let's say I do something like really stupid and I just delete everything. Be careful when you're deleting things. We can load the key recovery file and bring those keys back into the wallet. So key recovery file, again, it only stores the encrypted version of the key. I recommend also saving the raw private key in some other even more secure way. But it's always good to have multiple different kinds of backup options. So I hope you enjoy the new version of Neon.